Good afternoon, everybody. Going to go over our Forex trades for today, Tuesday, February 16th. Hope everybody had a good holiday yesterday here in the States, and a good weekend. We got out of one of our correlation trades, and this morning, pound yen to dollar yen. We're going to go over that in a minute. We also added a correlation trade last night, which is Aussie dollar to Kiwi dollar, the New Zealand currency. So we added one last night. We took one off this morning. Like I said, we'll go over that in a minute. First, the economic news this morning. Really not a whole lot out there. Empire Fed came in. Empire Fed, it's manufacturing, came in with a big miss. It's the seventh month in a row with a big miss, and it's near 7-year lows. Not really surprised there. What do we manufacture? Even though the analysts take that in consideration, just shows that the economy is slowing even more. National Association of Home builders, their index came in terrible miss. Came in with an index number of 5 versus an estimate for that index of 60. It tumbled to the lowest in 9 months. If you just remember from one of our videos just a couple of months ago, the National Association of Home Builders was very optimistic. So it turns out that they were wrong, whatever that was 2 or 3 months ago, just before the holidays. Turned out that they were wrong, and now they've turned extremely pessimistic. So interesting there. And we've been negative on housing, as you know, and it's just another bad indication. Also, just wanted to touch real quick. Last week, Congress introduced an act called the MyRA, which stands for Making Your Retirement Accessible Act. What it is it hasn't been passed yet, but they're basically going to force any company out there. I'm not sure if there's a limit of the size, like Obamacare, you have to have 50 or more employees. I don't know if there's a limit, but they're going to force every employee to the employees have to have a retirement account, whether it's a pension or just a IRA. And if the company doesn't offer the people the retirement account, the company gets penalized $100 a day per worker per day, right? It's just another thing of government overreach, forcing, and the writing's on the wall. If this act gets passed, you should continue to watch the news for this. Maybe it doesn't even get announced in the mainstream media, so you'll have to, watch Congress on it. Like I said, the writing's on the wall that if the government forces people to do that, they're also going to make it where they'll be able to tap that money. And it might sound crazy, but as of right now, there's $7 trillion in retirement accounts between pensions, IRAs, and the likes. 7 trillion. We are in the hole to the tune of 19 trillion, growing rapidly, growing by over $1 trillion every year. And it's been done before in other countries, just so you're aware. So you might think it's a conspiracy, or I'm really reaching, and the U.S. government would never do that. Absolutely incorrect, I believe. Like I said, other countries have done it, and not just communistic or very socialistic countries. We saw just a matter of less than a year ago or so, was Greece did the exact same thing. So they borrow from the people's pension funds, and they do give the money back, but at what time frame? And how much does that cost you in growth of your retirement account? Those are all the unknowns. So as far out there as it may seem, keep it in the back of your mind, and it very well could happen. And like I said, it's happened in the past in other countries. So let's go over the correlation trade. This was pound yen to dollar yen. We were short pound yen, and we were long dollar yen from about a little over a week ago. We were short pound yen from 173.121. We covered this morning at 162.780, booking 1,034.1 pips. Adjusted for size, that's 72.3 pips. Because we had 70% of the dollar yen position. So dollar yen position was a full 10% of our normal size. So another way of saying it is pound yen was basically 7% of our normal size. Okay, so it came out to 72.3 pips. And in dollar yen, we were long from 120.290. And you can see here we sold one this morning. You're going to get in them and out of them at the same time. We sold 113.831 for a loss of 645.9 pips. Adjusted for size, 64.6 pips. Again, since this was 1,000 pips, we had 70% of this dollar yen size. Why? Because pound yen moves, it's more volatile than dollar yen. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of twice as volatile. The algorithm was pointing down for pound yen. It's maybe not quite twice as volatile, but it's in that neighborhood. So instead of being 50%, which would make it completely even, the indication by our algorithm at the time, I believe it was about a 77% chance that pound yen was going to come down. So we were leaning on that, taking that, putting those odds in our favor, and going long the dollar yen. So we did it to a 70%, the same size as dollar yen. Hopefully that makes sense. We were down on it for most of the past, whatever it's been, a week and a half, only because dollar yen was really, even though it's less volatile than pound yen, it was actually moving faster than pound yen. And conversely, it even bounced harder than pound yen. Just with everything going on from Japan and the dollar, just maybe traders were viewing the dollar more tied to the yen than pound is tied to the yen. So therefore, even though pound yen is more volatile than dollar yen was actually moving faster. So we were down most of the time, and then we came back to being flat, up slightly, went back down again. And then this morning we were up a decent amount. Net it comes out to 7.7 pips. Maybe could have held on and done better, but on the other hand, you're never wrong taking a profit, right? So we'll book it and we'll move on. No scalp trades, no swing trades. It's been a little difficult. It's either been too volatile or not volatile enough. So been having a little bit of trouble with those type of trades. We are waiting for a few swing setups, just not happening, and we've been waiting for some scalp setups that just not happening. Going the opposite direction that our algorithm thinks it's going to go, or is not moving enough, or moves when we're not in the office, during the European session. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up. If you're still trading now, good luck. We will be back tomorrow, assuming we get some action or we close out another correlation trade. So have a great rest of your day.